You're watching Reality Check even before the results. Power games on in the tiny state of Goa, where once again the exit polls are predicting a hung assembly. Now this could mirror last time's outcome, where the Congress was single largest but failed to form the government because it didn't strike deals fast enough with smaller parties and independents. This time it claims it's better prepared. Its top leader P. Chidambaram is already in Goa. Another troubleshooter, D.K. Shivkumar, the Karnataka state president, is also heading to, or if not, has already reached Goa. The Congress reportedly considering corralling its MLAs in a resort. And it's also talking to other non-BJP parties like the Aam Aadmi Party and the Trinamool Congress. But the BJP is in motion as well. Chief Minister Pramod Sawant flew into Delhi to meet the Prime Minister for a one-to-one. And then he flew to Bombay to meet the state Goa chief Devendra Fadnavis, who's in charge of Goa. As the BJP also opens talks with Goa's smaller players. Now, given that most of the smaller regional players are aligned against the BJP, it's crucial for the BJP to break at least one of them off to its side. That most likely, many believe, is the Maharashtravadi Gomantak Party, or the MGP, headed by Sudhin Davlikar, a long-standing ally of the BJP, but presently in an alliance with the TMC. Now, after claiming to have burnt their fingers with the BJP, the MGP left the BJP. The BJP took their support in 2017 to form the government, making Davlikar deputy CM, but got two of their MLAs to switch sides and drop Davlikar. Yet, MGP leaders told NDTV that they're talking to everyone, including the BJP, and haven't ruled out any options. Now, this is what it means in terms of numbers. The average of the exit polls shows that in the 40-member assembly, both the top players, the Congress Alliance and the BJP, are getting on an average 16 seats each, which is about 5 short of a simple majority, while the TMC-MGP alliance are showing an average of about 3 seats and others 5. The MGP, though, as I mentioned, says they're talking to everyone, and so they could be moving towards the BJP, they could even be moving towards the Congress. They're very much in play. So it's not as if they're hard with the anti-BJP coalition. Joining me on NDTV is P. Chidambaram, senior Congress leader and somebody who's in fact in Goa. He's one of the Congress's key point people there. Mr. Chidambaram, thank you so much for joining us. The fact, Mr. Chidambaram, that you are in Goa even before the results, I'm assuming you've been there now for a couple of days at least, does that all indicate that the Congress is trying to make sure that there's no repeat of last time where you were the single largest party but you got outplayed after the results?
Oh, that's not correct. In fact, one of your taglines say that Goa Bazaar opens. I object to that. There is no bazaar of MLAs. I'm here to get our candidates ready for the counting. We have to ensure that counting agents are appointed, election agents are appointed. They're all briefed on the counting process. And there are a lot of ministerial acts which have to be performed, which anyone who is contesting an election knows. So I'm here for that. In fact, today and tomorrow, I have no work. So I'm attending to my private work. Day after tomorrow is the counting, and all our candidates are preparing for the counting.
Okay, but we've also heard that there's the possibility that the Congress might be keeping its MLAs together in a resort or somewhere where they're all together.
These are exaggerated stories. One of our leaders is celebrating his birthday today. Therefore, he's holding a dinner. Naturally, all the candidates are invited. I'm invited. And if you can fly down to Goa, you're invited too.
Okay. Unfortunately, I'm stuck here. But so there's no attempt to, as it's been suggested, take everybody off to a resort, ring fence them till the results are out.
We are asking them to be available to meet at short notice. In fact, the Congress Legislature Party is scheduled to meet within minutes after the trend becomes discernible.
Okay.
And the Congress Legislature Party will elect a leader, as I've said, half jokingly, within 5 minutes. And therefore, we have asked them all to be available to meet within a few minutes after the trend becomes discernible.
Okay. But in order to do that, they'd all have to obviously be together somewhere.
Well, why should they not be together? We can have lunch together. In fact, on counting day, we expect to have lunch together because that is the time when the trend will become discernible.
Okay.
I may have the lunch myself.
Okay. But Mr. Chidambaram, how does the Congress assure, the public of Goa that it won't be like last time where you were the single largest, but you did get outplayed?
We are aware of what happened in 2017-19. The party that steals election is still around. We are aware of who can steal an election. But we are doubly guarding our house. We will not allow our house to be burgled.
Okay.
We have got candidates this time who are recommended by the bloc. And yesterday, for example, I had a day-long meeting along with my colleagues, a day-long meeting with every candidate. And every candidate is proud to have carried the Congress flag in his constituency, and many of them expect to win. And this is the point I'm making. Every candidate told me that the bloc fully cooperated with him. The bloc workers worked day and night to get his election successful.
Okay.
Which means there is a bonding between the MLA and the bloc workers, and that is the biggest assurance that the candidates will remain loyal to the Congress party. Everyone is sworn to loyalty.
So, right.
I have no doubt at all. I have no doubt at all. Every candidate, whether he wins or loses, will remain loyal to the Congress party.
No, fair enough. I mean, in addition to that assurance and the fact that, as you said, they've come from the grassroots, you said importantly that you're going to ensure your house isn't burgled. Yes. What else are you going to do, or what else are you already doing to ensure that?
We don't have to do anything. We just simply have to bond with our MLAs, which we are doing. I met all of them. I will meet them again this evening at dinner, and maybe somebody will host a lunch or something tomorrow. These are normal activities, even for a Rajya Sabha election, which is all predetermined. The candidate and the electors bond together on dinner or lunch. These are normal things.
Okay, so you're saying it's kind of business as usual, even though we've seen that often with Goa it is not business as usual. But let me ask you though about falling short. If the numbers fall short, and again I say this as a big if because I'm sure you may have a different view. We are getting indications from your leaders as well as leaders of other parties like Aam Aadmi Party that they are not averse, nor are you, to getting into a partnership or an alliance to keep the BJP out of power. Is that a fair characterization of the conversations that have been going on?
The phraseology is wrong.
Okay.
What I said was, we are confident after talking to the candidates and talking to the bloc leaders, we are confident that the people of Goa have given us a clear, simple majority. I'm more confident today than I was, say, last week, because I've spoken to every candidate. We are confident we'll have a simple, clear majority.
All right.
Nevertheless, we are on record and we have said it. Nevertheless, I say that we are willing to work with the other parties, which may win a few seats, 1, 2 or whatever. We are willing to work with other parties because our goal is to forge a non-BJP front. Such efforts are going on in other parts of India. Why not make the same effort in Goa?
Sure.
A non-BJP front can be formed in Goa. We can accommodate the views of the other parties, although we are confident we will get a simple, clear majority.
So are you in touch with parties like the AAP and the TMC and even the MGP?
Not me directly, but Goan leaders are talking to Goan leaders of other parties. Apparently, they are all friends. Some of them are even related to each other. They all know each other. It's a small place. They meet often on many occasions. I'm told that leaders of other parties and leaders of my party have been talking to each other over the last few days.
Okay. So you're saying if it comes to that, but I want to specifically ask you about the MGP because they are likely to be a crucial player in all of this. What is the sense that you're getting from them?
See, the MGP is not the polar opposite of the Congress. The Congress and the BJP are polar opposites. All other parties in Goa, I don't consider them polar opposites.
Right.
In fact, MGP has worked with the Congress before, in 2012 or so, I remember. And the MGP last time joined the BJP. They have bitter memories of the BJP experience. Their party was split. Their party was thrown out of the alliance. And they have bitter memories of working with the BJP. Memories are not short. Therefore, if the MGP leaders are talking to our leaders, it's perhaps with the intention, can we work together? If we can work together, why not?
Have they given you any assurance?
No, I have not received any assurances.
Well, when I say you, I meant the Congress. Have they?
I don't think any assurances were sought or given. I think they're talking to each other to see how we can work together.
Okay, because an MGP leader, a senior MGP leader told my colleague that they are in fact contacted by both sides, by the BJP and the Congress, and they've not ruled out an alliance with the BJP.
They would be living in a, I'm sorry, well, let me rephrase it. They should remember what happened in 2017-19. The MGP was enticed to join the BJP. The MGP was split. The MGP, one section of the MGP was absorbed in the BJP and the other section was thrown out. And the section which was absorbed was denied tickets in this election. So there's four times they have suffered a blow at the hands of the BJP. And I don't think anyone who remembers what happened between 2017 and 19 and subsequent will even contemplate an alliance with the BJP. That is the way the BJP treats its allies or partners.
Well, you're right to suggest that the kind of conventional wisdom would suggest that after having gone through that experience, why would they still be saying things like that? But that's what they're saying, that they're not ruling it out.
Well, different leaders can say different things. What matters is what the party decides.
Right.
And I'm sure the MGP will decide not only in its self-interest, also in the interest of the people of Goa.
Okay. So, in conclusion, Mr. Chidambaram, you're saying that the Congress is confident of getting the numbers. If not, you are open to alliances with other parties, and you said some local leaders of both sides are talking to each other. And also that this time you're more confident of your flock being together, and so there's no kind of ring fencing or corralling, other than, as you said, some lunches and dinners. Is that
That's a fair summary of what I said. That's a fair summary of what I said.
Okay, well, fascinating, of course, Goa as always, and let's see how it plays itself out. Thank you very much indeed for joining us.
Thank you.
I also spoke earlier to Vijay Sardesai, Goa Forward Party, an ally of the Congress Party, and I began by asking him essentially the same question because he's also been talking to many of these smaller parties. So this is the question I asked him, that who exactly have you been talking to, Vijay Sardesai, in case the Congress and GFP alliance falls short? Who is saying that they'll come with you?
At the local level, I think every person who defeats the BJP in the election needs to go against the BJP post-elections. This is the thumb rule. However, things change in politics. And therefore, I believe that parties like the TMC, parties like AAP, parties like even the MGP cannot align with the BJP. The BJP can only depend upon the support of independents, and those independents who have got Goa at heart and who have defeated the BJP in the polls will not align with them. So it is very unlikely that BJP can form a government here if they don't emerge as the single largest party.
But what is your sense particularly of the MGP though? Are you in touch with Sudhin Davlikar, and if so, what is he saying?
Not in touch, but I think the Congress party is in touch with him.
Okay, but you know him and you know the MGP. What's your sense? Because he's telling us that he's talking to all sides, including the BJP. He may even, I mean, he's not ruling out going with the BJP.
See, I think he cannot forget his past. He has been unceremoniously kicked out. And if he wants to condone all this for the sake of getting something, he will certainly be having the chief ministership in mind. And I don't think the BJP will offer him that. But if they offer him that, then I don't think he's going to stop. He will go where he has to go. But I am no one to decide and to speculate about what he's going to do. But I believe he is also a self-respecting Goan who will keep all these things in mind while deciding his next course of action.
Okay, interesting. You're saying if they offer him chief ministership, he may actually go with the BJP. But let's talk about you, Vijay Sardesai, because I know you've been saying that you're now with the Congress, Goa Forward is with the Congress. But we know how the wheel turns in Goa. Are you 100% with them, or if the BJP requires and they reach out to you, will you jump?
See, I supported the BJP last time. I supported Manohar Parrikar, not BJP. And that was when Congress had no pre-poll alliance with me. Here I am bound by a pre-poll alliance. And I don't think they will even approach me because they know what type of person I am. So they won't approach me and I won't approach them. And I don't think they'll need me. If they need some, the way the exit polls are showing that they will require only 2-3 people, they will certainly not approach me because they know they won't.
No, but suppose they do fall short, the exit polls are wrong, they do fall short and they do approach you, then what?
See, I have been one of the victims of BJP's politics of backstabbing. And for no rhyme or reason. So I am not a person to forget all these things in a hurry. Also, I am not greedy for power. I believe government formation is just the first step of implementing a manifesto toward keeping Goans as the center of development and progress. So I am a regionalistic party having that in mind. And I will never betray this sentiment. I will never betray this manifesto. And I will never betray Goans. So it's very clear that anybody who rules, even if the Congress government is formed, I will be the watchdog of the people's interest in this government.
Right, but last question though, the Congress is thinking about taking its MLAs to a resort, is that correct? And if so, why aren't you there also?
No, Congress is holding a party for Mr. Digambar Kamath, who is celebrating his birthday today. So I will be also there for that party. And I don't think they have made a decision as yet to make a camp. But if they do require, I can also be there. But I don't think our MLAs, our candidates are only 3. And nobody will attempt to even poach us.
Okay. Well,
we are not amenable to pressures and pulls and pressures, and nobody will attempt that with us.
Okay. Well, you say that, but we know how it goes in Goa. So let's see. Vijay Sardesai.
Last time we have formed a government by sitting at home, not by going into any hotel.
Okay.
So we can be at ease at home. And form the government.
All right. Formed a government by sitting at home. All right. Thanks very much indeed. Also spoke earlier to Rahul Mambre. He is convener of the Aam Aadmi Party, which again could end up becoming a kind of kingmaker in this election. Thanks very much indeed, Rahul Mambre, for joining us. And is it fair to say that all of you, AAP, etc., are talking in ways of keeping the BJP out? Those conversations have begun?
So we have made a very clear statement. Even our national convener, Sri Arvind Kejriwal, has made a clear statement that we would be working on an anti-BJP alliance and we are in Goa. Now, the exit polls of yesterday have clearly thrown out a hung assembly. But it seems that single largest party would be Congress, and we would be working with the Congress if wherever required to have an anti-BJP alliance.
Okay, and have you or has the AAP been in talks with the Congress already?
Not yet. We are waiting for the final numbers. So we are waiting for the final numbers to come out on that. But we have made almost a month back, we were clear on our stand about it, that even in 2017, the verdict was against the BJP. Now also, the people do not want a BJP government here. It's very clear. So we are waiting for the final numbers to come on that. And then we will make a clear stand on that.
Okay, and would you think the Congress would be open to this?
I mean, what I've heard from the senior Congress leaders like Mr. Chidambaram and even the leader of opposition, Sri Kamath, that they are working for an anti-BJP alliance, and they have mostly made a public statement that any other party would be welcome to join this alliance.
Okay. But Rahul, what would you say to those who would argue that the Aam Aadmi Party had taken the position that all parties in Goa are corrupt, whether it's the BJP or the Congress?
So now, finally, the broader game plan, really, because they have completely worked against the interests of the state of Goa and Goan people. So first priority is that keeping the BJP out of power, which is very required. The verdict of 2017 is very clear on that. Now, we would like to work with the Congress on that if need be, depending on the program which the Congress has. So let's come out with a program, a minimum program, where we both can agree to work on certain issues to take Goa state forward now.
Okay. But you don't believe that the Congress is corrupt?
So let's see, because they have thrown out major new faces now, really, and the old buck which was there. In fact, say Rahul Gandhi itself said that all the junk from the Congress has gone out. So they have given chance, and let's hope for the best for Goa. So our fingers are crossed on that. We have also a party which has thrown up very new candidates with incredible track record. So as the Congress now. Goa people are hoping for the best now.
Okay, Rahul, just to understand, is the AAP looking to support the Congress from the outside, or would you like to join the government if it comes to that?
Srinivasan, it will be better once we have a clear picture on that. Let's have the final numbers on that. Then we could work out a clear answer on that, really. And our senior leaders from our party also will take a call on that.
Okay. But the question about your own MLAs, and I asked you this earlier, how are you so sure that your flock will be together?
There is no doubt on that, Srinivasan. There is no doubt on that. Because our party, you have seen that happening in Delhi or the track record in 2013, where none out of the 28, if I remember the figure correct, could be ever broken by the BJP for a period of 1 year. So we have got that track record, and we are sure in Goa also, however numbers we have got will remain intact and work for the interests of Goa and people of Goa.
Okay, last question though. Rahul, as you know, the BJP is not sitting quietly. They're talking to everyone else as well. And, parties like the MGP say that they may be willing to play ball.
So finally, BJP should realize it's the question of reputation of Goa here. Even in 2017, what they did was against the mandate of the people of Goa. So I am sure they will not commit the same crime this time also. Because finally, the reputation of people of Goa is at stake, reputation of Goa is at stake. And when the verdict is clear, be it any political party, BJP, Congress, or AAP for that matter, they have to respect that verdict. Okay. That's the end game in democracy. Respecting the verdict of the people, however it may go against you.
All right, well, let's see how it plays itself out. But thanks very much indeed, Rahul Mambre, for joining us. And that's all the time we have on Reality Check. Thank you for watching. Good night.